All right, first question of the day.
Okay. Now, let's see. First, we have Kathy. Kathy says she is heading to work driving, and she says, I have not blogged in a while, like months. Yikes, it hurts to actually admit it. I've been so focused on my webinars and my 5-day challenge. I have been rotating my blog posts that are relevant to teachers at this time of the calendar, but I haven't produced new blog content. So I've just been reposting the most relevant old blog posts to the top of my blog.
Oh, we can't do that. Yeah.
Is this something I need to worry about? The idea of having to write new content may send me over the edge with everything going on in my life right now. I have not been feeling inspired to write.
Well, what you one, it will affect your blog. Like, it definitely is something to worry about. You have to post regular content. That is one of the signals that Google looks for, and they will derank your site if you're not posting regular content. And you can't just bring new content to the top. Okay. You could go in and update stuff. Google can repost and see the new text, but you've got to post relevant content. But what I would challenge you to do is just repurpose content. Don't reuse content like you're doing, changing the dates and bringing it to the top. Use your webinars. Just take the video from your webinar and every week write a little quick summary of that webinar. Even if it's close to the same, just keep using that webinar over and over again to do that. And as you're rotating through those, you'll still have new content all the time. Or stop doing webinars for 2 weeks and batch your content for 8 weeks. You have to post regular content. Who was it we were talking to about this? Was it on someone we were talking to the other day about consistency and with their blog? And you've got to be consistent. Like Jocelyn and we've done a podcast every week for like 3.5 straight years.
And just get it done. Like,
yeah, don't
that's
worry
what
about
we
it.
do. We get it done a lot of times in advance, so we don't have to worry about it for a while. Like, for instance, as soon as we finish this today, we're actually going to record several segments of our podcast so that we don't have to worry about it again until like mid-April. So that's what you have to do. It's kind of not very fun when you sit down and do it. If you're waiting every week and trying to come up with a new post, you
That's
are
not going
going
to
to
work.
dread it, and it's
Yeah.
not going to work because things will creep up.
Hey, tell them what we're going to do after we get off this call.
I just did.
About all the can't miss moments and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, I was reading the chat. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was reading the chat. Go ahead.
Are you on this call?
I'm on this call. We are totally out of whack today. This is terrible. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was reading a post.
Okay. So
basically, the moral of the story is batch your content ahead of time. You've got to do it, and
it's not fun then.
No.
It's always like there are some times today, like we are getting ready to go on a trip. I need to pack. Like, there's a lot of things I have to do, but I know that if I get this done today before we go, that we won't have to do it again for a while.
And I saw my buddy, let me read this quote to you guys. A buddy of mine posted this on Facebook today. He's a really, really go-getter, really good entrepreneurial kind of guy. And he said, like, you said something interesting there, like, one more thing is about to push me over the edge. Well, this quote that he posted today was, you can't expect success if you only work hard and do your best when you feel like it. And I'll tell you right now, if you want to make it to the next level, you want to flip your life, you want to do that, you got to do things even when you're close to the edge. I'll be honest with you. Me and Jocelyn got a lot going on, and we're close to the edge. You can tell. So you've got to do it. You just have to.
It's been a rough morning, people. Not just because of the call.
Rough morning.
It's been a little crazy.
You got this. Don't give up. And, that's part of one of the balls you got to juggle is consistent content while you're marketing, while you're leading your community, while you're making products. You got to do it all, and you can do it all. We know because we've done it. We see other people do it. So you got this.
All right, let's move on to Rebecca. She says, I'm planning a Facebook Live on March 28th to announce we are piloting a complete childbirth curriculum with our brand. It is being piloted in 7 states. Very cool.
That is very
it's
cool.
really unique because it's a hybrid in-person and online teaching model. Other than teasing my list and announcing the Facebook Live by email and social media, should I do anything else to build excitement? I want my instructors to be bombarded with inquiries for people who want to take their new class.
I mean, I think this is definitely something that you could do some ads even and pump this event up, like to retarget. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you're really much doing everything. You're using email, you're using social media.
And you're doing the podcast now, right?
Yeah.
Definitely
so, I mean,
mention it on there.
I would buy some ads and maybe focus on your remarketing pixel. Like, that catches a lot of people. Like, you wouldn't believe it. Some of the posts that we've had lately, like, we're almost exclusively advertising now to that pixel. Like, we're catching that website traffic last 30 days, last 60 days. And pump up an event, pump up what this is. This is a launch. This is a thing. This is happening. Grab your seat now. You want to be there for this. You want to see this. You want to be at this Facebook Live on this date. So, I wouldn't even, suggest putting some money behind it and saying, hey, go get your people, run 3 ads, run one for your Facebook followers, upload your email list and run ads at them, and then run ads at your remarketing pixel and pump this up. Make this a big deal. Make this a conference type event feel almost, and make it a must be at event if you're in your space. Don't be afraid to throw money at it.
And like on your emails, on the follow-ups, see who clicks on the links and follow up with them personally.
Yeah.
Or have, if you can't do it personally, have somebody on your team follow up with them personally. Just send them a personal email and say, hey, I noticed that you clicked the link for this.
Any questions ahead of time?
What questions you have? Maybe do a Q&A for those people. Jeff says, what does it mean to advertise to the pixel?
Okay. So Facebook gives you a code. You put that code on your website. It's called the Facebook pixel, and it tracks every single person that comes to your website. And over on Facebook, it looks at that pixel and says, hey, all these people that went to his website or her website also are on Facebook. I found their same matching profile on Facebook. We're tracking them. So it can say, hey, there's 20,000 people on Facebook that also went to your website. Would you like us to show them something? You give them money, they show them an ad.
So for people who don't know, like a pixel basically is a teeny tiny
picture
speck of picture. Okay. So what happens is your browser knows when you load that picture up, and it tells Facebook, hey, this person loaded this tiny picture, which means that you can now talk to them about
anything you want to do on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that's what the pixel is. So use those audiences to your advantage, and any kind of big announcement, guys, do it. And we just did what Jocelyn said. We had 112 people that I found in our database that came to our live public ask us a question about the Flip Your Life community Q&A on Sunday. Okay. And we are following up with every single one of those people who did not join one at a time, because we want to go out and say, hey, we know you're interested. You said you wanted to come, but you're not a member. Why not? Same thing here. Like, you're interested, come to this thing. Do you have any questions you want me to answer?
Think about it in your life. Like, if you, for instance, like I'm looking into some activities in Texas right now because we are thinking about going down there in a few weeks. So anyway, I was looking at some activities. Well, what if somebody either emailed me or gave me a personal phone call and said, hey, I noticed that you were looking at these activities. I have a perfect activity for you, and here is what you would do. And do you think I would probably do that activity? Yeah, it's a lot more likely than if I just passively looked at a website and just said, whatever, like I'm moving on. So it's a little bit creepy from a customer standpoint, but from a marketer standpoint, I really like that we have the ability to do those things.
And with 2 weeks, you could get a lot of people to that. So the same ad run to 3 audiences is all of your email lists, all of your Facebook followers, and all of your remarketing pixel if you've already got that installed. And you should be able to get some more interest for that. So we're actually getting ready to install our Google stuff too, because we did a YouTube ad last week and we got like 20,000 views, and it blew our mind that we got that many views on a video in like 24 hours. And, but it was a warm ad targeted at cold audience, so it didn't convert really well. And we're going to get that remarketing pixel now for Google on our website as well, because we want to go to YouTube and show, hey, you've been to Flip Lifestyle, check out this ad. So it's the same thing. You just want to catch people who are paying attention to you. All right, cool. Shannon says, good morning. Just going to listen for inspiration today. It's been a rough couple of months. I have a half hour before I have a work meeting. Thanks, Shannon, for coming by. Glad you're listening in. And, we know all about those rough mornings. Keep it up. Don't give up. You stay strong now. All right, next question, Jocelyn.
All right, Dan reminded me of something. I was reminding myself to do it later. Okay, let's see. Tony says, I have been following the tutorials on your website. I just need an opinion on a domain name for my mobile phone photography and video course. Do you like the phoneshot.com or mobilecamera.com?
It's mobilecamera.com. That's a good domain.
Really, either one of them
one's great.
Will be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think mobile camera's cool. Remember, this is something that's very minor. I would probably just pick one If you really can't decide, flip a coin, because me and Jocelyn, I mean, I think they're both great.
Yeah,
And you can
and
change it later if you don't like it. You could, so it doesn't matter.
anymore, like the exact match doesn't matter now.
Yeah,
When we first started out, like 6 years ago, exact match domains was a big thing. Like in SEO, like you really wanted to have a really terrible domain name so that it matched people's Google searches.
but it doesn't
That's not
matter.
really so much of a thing anymore. They've changed their algorithm to where they know what your site's about, even if the domain name doesn't match that search exactly. So I wouldn't get so bent out of shape about that. I think either one of them is
What's
just fine.
actually more important is what comes after, like fliplifestyle.com/whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's going to where Google's really looking for the signals is like, what's the title of the post? What's the post about? You know, what kind of content's inside of it? And, you know, you can always change it later. I personally do like the 2-word domain better than the 3-word domain because less words is always better. That's just usually because it's easier for you to say, hey, what's your website? mobilephotos.com. You know, it's just real simple, rolls off the tongue. So start with that one. If you don't like it later, change it. Doesn't matter.
All right, Rebecca wants to know what my new site is. It's a secret.
It's a secret.
The reason that it's a secret right now
because
is
it's not
because,
done.
yeah, it the website has like a big plant on the front. It has nothing to do with plants.
It's got like
So,
WordPress 2010
yeah,
potted plant on desk.
I've had somebody do a branding package for me, but to be honest, I haven't even had time to like put it together and put it on my WordPress website and all that. So anyway, I will tell you guys what it is, but not today because I don't want people going there.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because it doesn't look good. So
it's awesome though. There's going to be t-shirts too. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do on this site, I want to learn more about like e-commerce and like physical goods online. So that's what the purpose of this site is. It's basically just my little playground for learning about physical goods and how to sell them.
Merch. Trying to sell some merch around here.
Yeah.
Some shirts. Got to sell some tees. So, all right.
Okay. Jen says, what's the best way to index member call / training / interview content so members can easily access topics within each call or training or interview? I plan to have show notes with timestamps under each call, but I would like to have a central database of sorts so people could look up a subject and see all the timestamps that of the content that cover that subject.
Well, I mean, I think the top down, what we do, and that's the best thing that we can tell you to do probably is you, one, have really clear titles because that'll show up in your search. If you're using WordPress, this is all WordPress I'm talking about here. The next thing is just tagging. Like if you'll notice and flip, even in the forums, every post has a place where you guys can put tags in. So if you're talking about Facebook advertising, you can type a tag there and our members will tag things for us. We have our team go in and look at posts and try to add a tag. Like one of the things I try to do whenever I reply to someone's post in the forums is I add a tag to it if nobody did. That way it becomes more searchable, right? And then the timestamps would go in the post. Like, so it's kind of like first find the subject, then find the timestamp in the post. That's kind of how I would probably structure it if I were you. So just really good tagging, really strong, clear tagging. Don't have 20 tags for every post. Have big categorical tags. And then when people get in there, let them look at the timestamps in the post.
She's using Teachable. Which
I would think it would work the same way. You would just, there's tagging in Teachable.
Just
you know what I'm saying?
check out their search and like how to best use it.
Yeah.
I would even like contact their support and say, you know, I want people to be able to search my content. What's the best way for me to do that?
And the best thing for you to do is make your post and then go to your main page on Teachable and search it, right? I'm not sure if you're going to be able to like, the better thing is to find, like people don't really look for exactly on the timestamp in the search. What they might think is, okay, I want to say someone was coming into our community and they said, I want to look up the member calls. They might type in member calls. Well, we have 50 posts named member calls. Then they get into the member call and they would say, okay, well, that one, I'm going to click it and then I'm going to look at the timestamps. And that's what it is. So don't go overboard with over organizing. Most people don't really care about that much stuff. They want to find the main gist of what they're looking for. Like they might type in sales funnels and they find a thing about sales funnels. That's where your timestamps would live. You know, think about how YouTube works. You look for a YouTube video and then you go to YouTube, you see the video, and then it has timestamps. And that's probably going to be a much better way to do that.
All right. She says, I'm thinking about Zendesk. Yeah, Zendesk has a good search.
Yes.
So
very good search.
I would look into that and see what it can do. And there may actually be something that integrates with Teachable. Like I said, I would contact their service and say, this is what I'm trying to do. Can you recommend the best course of action for me to get this result?
We love Zendesk.
And
we
they
use
should
it.
be able to help you. Well, I'm talking about Teachable. Like,
Well, no, she said she uses Zendesk. I mean, it's great, you know.
yeah, we like Zendesk. So I would contact Teachable.
All right, let's go.
All right, Tanya says, I've been mentioning my online membership opening soon for 2 months during my Facebook Lives. I'm still not ready to open it, but I'm working on it. How should I address this on my future lives? Give them a date, Tanya.
Give them a date.
Quit
Yeah,
messing
set a
around.
date. Yeah, set a date. I don't care if you're done or not. Like, do it. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well,
what are you waiting on?
The thing about it is, when you say that date, like, it makes
You have
it
to
real.
do it.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Then everyone gets to hold you
Because
accountable.
Otherwise, it's like my website. Okay, so my website is just more of a fun thing for me. It's it's not going to make us a lot of money right now. So I'm kind of like, that's on the back burner. But if I tell you guys, like,
my new site is launching April 1st. No, then you could say April Fools. You can't use that.
Well, probably not April
7th,
1st
right?
because I've got a lot going on. But if I tell you guys, okay, on the first May member call, I will tell you what my website is. Then that makes it real for me.
You just said that out loud.
I did, yeah.
So you have to totally
and I did that on purpose because I need to be sure that I'm getting this done. So that's the thing. If you attach a date to it, then somebody will hold you accountable. And if you don't have it done, then you're going to feel really bad.
Also, too, if say you set a date from a month from now, are you putting a link to an opt-in in your Facebook Lives? Are you saying, I'm launching this on this date, this membership is coming, and you better get on the early bird waiting list because I'm going to show it to the early bird waiting list, a week before anybody else and give you a chance to join at 50% off. Get on the waiting list now. Like, are you giving them an opportunity to opt in and be ready for the launch? And then you're really on the hook because you had people actually sign up that said, please give me the thing. Let's go. So make sure you're giving people an opportunity to opt in. You set a date that you are going to launch it, and you will get it done by that date. I promise. That's what happens.
Yeah, if you just have an arbitrary, it's coming soon out there.
Coming soon. Soon is such a
soon for you
big
might
term.
Be like, a couple years. Soon for me might be a couple months. I don't know. It's very, very not concrete. So
be more
abstract.
Concrete. Pour some concrete.
All right. Tony says, oh wait, I already got that one. Just kidding. And Jen would like for us to review her sales page and let her know our thoughts.
Does she have a link?
Yeah, there's some links if you scroll up.
I'm getting ready to launch my membership. Jen, is it Jen? How do you say that? Is it Kamel? Jen Kamel?
I'm not sure.
Let me pull this up and we'll look at it. And I'll even share my screen.
So it looks like there is let's see. When I clicked on it, it went straight to the pricing.
Is it VBAC Fax Academy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that link that you gave me, it went straight down to the pricing. I'm not sure if that was a mistake. It says oh goodness, I don't know what I just did. I just did something to my screen.
Yeah, so did I. What did I do? I'm sharing my screen. Can everybody?
Oh, okay. That's your screen.
That's
I'm like, why does my screen look this way?
All right. So I'm sharing my screen. We're looking at her sales page. So let's see. VBAC.
Okay, I see.
Fax membership for professionals.
Yes, there's two different links. It's the second link.
Is this not? Am I on the wrong place?
No, that's right.
Okay.
It's just one of them said block 5757077.
All right. So let's start at the top and talk about this. Okay. Number one. No one knows what VBAC means, even though
moms do.
I know, but it's still, you can't assume that anyone will know what it is. So I would probably spell that out. I would not put FYL community.
Well, this is for professionals, though.
I know, but just to make sure,
birth professionals should know what a VBAC is. And if they don't, they shouldn't be a birth professional.
Well, we'll go with VBAC. I think you should probably put the logo up here and just put fact memberships for professionals. Get unlimited account access to current and future courses. Nobody knows what courses you're in. What's the result they want? Monthly grand rounds and expert interviews to keep you on top of the evidence. I don't know. I wanted I'd like to see a picture of you, maybe, or maybe a picture of birth professionals.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
I don't know.
But the headline up there, I would really like you to speak to a problem. Right now you're giving people highlights of what you offer in the membership. That is not strong enough.
There's no results.
Yeah, you need a result.
Why would I care about staying on top of the evidence? Like, what's the story you're trying to tell this person? Like,
So right now you're telling them like what they're getting up there in the top, but what you want to tell them is what result they're going to get.
what is a VB? Is this like a birth? Is this like a nurse? What is
A
this?
VBAC is vaginal birth after cesarean.
Oh yeah, they should totally know what that is. All right, so
That's what I said.
yeah,
If they don't know
yeah.
what
If they
it
don't know what
is,
that is, they're on the wrong website. My bad.
birth
All right.
professionals.
Yeah, you just got to be careful about jargon, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I
you got to
agree
be
if
careful.
it's to just regular people, but
True.
this is to people who do this every
So,
day.
what is the result? Tell us in the chat. What is the result that you want them to have? Like, forget. I don't care about your courses. I don't care about being on top of the evidence. Like, what at the end of the day makes them feel successful? Like, here's what ours says. Like, ours says, we help you start an online business so that you can quit your job and spend more time with your family. Like, we're not telling them we have all the latest courses on sales funnels and WordPress installation, and we will tell you how to check your plugins. You know what I mean? Like, we don't tell them, like,
we do those things.
We do those things, but we don't say stay on top of all the latest advertising strategies. No, we say you want to quit your job and you want to spend more time with your family. You want to serve more people and make an impact on the world. Like, that's what your sales page must do, you know?
So you're telling me a lot of tech jargon. She says they'll be able to confidently discuss the evidence with their clients so they can guide them as they make informed decisions. And
Why?
That's fine, but why?
Why?
Like, what is the emotional reason? What is going to make them purchase? So like on Elementary Librarian, for instance, when I still had that site, mine said save time so you can spend more time with your family, basically was the gist of it. So I'm not talking about the library skills that they're going to teach students. I'm not talking about that the lessons are aligned to standards.
Look at this first sentence. Are you a busy professional who cares for women pregnant after that needs to be pregnant women, shouldn't me? Cares for pregnant women after a cesarean. Okay, so that's closer to the emotion. So it's more like instead of like, it's more like the something community, so you can make sure your patients stay healthy. You know, what do they really care about? Why do they do this? They're not going to buy to stay up on the evidence because they can Google search and look for evidence. In their brain, whether you're curating it, you're telling them what they really need to know, you're the expert, but in their brain, they're like, I can do this. But like keeping their patients healthy, that's what matters, you know?
And
like,
Rebecca says overcome misinformation and coercion.
Yes.
See, that's getting to the emotional root of it.
Yeah. Like, aren't you sick of reading all this false information and confusing discussion? Let me cut through it and give you the truth.
And give you other people to talk to about it and, to band together to stop this, basically.
Yeah. I don't like this get started today for only $49. Like, get started, this is something I've learned recently, is the worst possible word you could ever use on anything. Like, it needs to be, buy now, join, things that are like action taking, not get started. Get started doing what? Get started, start your journey. Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if the button goes right there necessarily. It might go up here above the fold better. Like, maybe put that under the thing. Yeah, but like, it's just random. Like, get started. Get started with what? It doesn't really have any context right there. Let's see. You already know the challenge. People all around you, from your colleagues to your clients, are unclear on the oh my gosh. This paragraph right here, you already know the challenge, is what this should say up here. So this,
but not in a paragraph form.
But not in a paragraph form. Like, you got to get this down to one sentence. Like, people are unclear. People around you are, that could be that small paragraph could be it.
Well, I
you know what I'm saying?
Stop the once a cesarean, always a cesarean. You
Yeah.
know, that's getting closer to it. Yeah. So, and I think that all the rest of it, I think is fine. As far as like listing the features and benefits, that's fine.
But you got to get that above the fold is emotion, below the fold is benefits. Okay. So spark emotion first and then get the benefits. And also too, like, I don't like this stock photo of a coffee mug and a clipboard. Like, that doesn't scream to me vaginal birth professional. That screams to me entrepreneur at a coffee shop or something. Like, we need something there that's like the person who sees it has to see you. We just changed our picture to a group picture of us with 50 people because we want people to see our community. Like, When they go there, they see a diverse group of people surrounding the leaders of the community.
I do like
So,
your as seen on. I think that's good.
yeah. I actually like the pictures on the what's
Yeah,
the
that's a
strip
really
better?
good picture down there.
Yeah, the one where you're speaking, that gives you authority. You're with other people, you know, at a conference. You're in a class, like talking to people. Like, I actually like that picture above the fold better, probably, than the stock photo. And other than that, you know,
I think the rest of it looks
the
pretty
rest of it looks
good.
pretty good.
Just make sure you're leading with that big emotional tug at them. Make
Yeah, like
sure
we're
that they're thinking, I really need to get this not for information and nuts and bolts. I need to get it because this person understands me. I can solve my problem.
instead of let's get started, it could also be like join our community of VBAC professionals now or something, you know, like really big, like you are becoming a member of a community of people. Let's go, you know? So, I mean, I think I love the
Love the
testimonials.
testimonials.
Yeah, that
That's
looks
great.
amazing. Like you have a ton of testimonials. Your FAQ
Love the
looks great.
FAQ.
And then we just got the stock
Yeah,
photo
I think
again.
it looks really good aside from those little things.
So how about, let's just say to sum it all up, get this emotional stuff above the fold, get the benefit stuff below the fold, spark their emotion and make them sit up and go, I'm in the right place. And then tell them why they're in the right place. And you'll be good to go. Okay.
Yep. Looks good.
All right. Let's go back. I don't know how to stop sharing. All right. Let's
This meeting has been upgraded by the host and now includes unlimited minutes.
Yeah,
What
I
does
don't
that
know.
mean?
I have no idea.
Okay.
All right. Back on it. Let's go to the next one. Hope that was not too confusing. That's how me and Jocelyn too like talk about things. Like we go back and forth. We say what we like. We say, I don't agree. I disagree. Do the same thing. Like go back and forth with people in the community. Post your thing. Get some more input. And then just make a decision.
And just remember that, different people are going to have different opinions, but the thing about marketing that we've learned over 6+ years is that you really have to connect with people on an emotional level.
That's right.
If you can't do that, you'll sell some, but you will do much better if you can connect with them on that emotional
And
level.
also too, don't get caught up. Design is important, but words sell things. Words. The words on the page are more important than almost anything else. Your pictures are important because they're saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. But like, all the layouts and designs and all that, just your words have to spark emotion. They have to say, I want this. Now tell me about it, right? I have to say emotionally, I want a new car. And then I go try to find a new car. I'm not looking for power windows until I've decided to buy a car. You have to emotionally say, are you sick of that old car? It's running down and breaking down on you all the time. Let's go find a new one. And then you compete in the marketplace for what car you buy.
And if you want to watch people who do this so well, the next time you see an infomercial on TV, stop and watch it.
Yep.
They are masters.
Jocelyn and I, do y'all have the infomercial channel? Because we do.
If you have DirecTV, you have a lot of infomercial
Yeah, there's an
channels.
infomercial channel. It's called Look, okay? And like, we usually start our day drinking coffee and tea and watching infomercials. That is the nerdiest, it's kind of sad. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit sad. But we sit and watch infomercials every day, at least one, to try to see what they're doing and what they're learning about.
And if you watch, the way that they sell is not through all of the features and benefits of their fantastic product. They do get to that. But what do they do? Think about weight loss ones. Are you tired of not being able to walk up the stairs? Like they hit you in that core where you're like, yeah, I am tired of that.
I am tired of it, man. I'm sick of it. I'm trying to, I'm sometimes by the end of the infomercial, I'm like, man, I really need that cheese slicer. I mean, that my emotional need for slicing cheese better is really tugged here. I got a tear in my eye about a cheese slicer. You know what I mean? So like, you've got to like study this stuff and watch this stuff and see what they're doing. And here's another thing too. We get emails every once in a while. I'll get an email that says, what courses are even in your membership? Because if you go look at our sales page, we kind of vaguely talk about all the concepts of online business, but we don't say what our courses are. We don't list every course in our thing because 90% of the people don't write in and say what courses are available. They don't want the courses. They need them, and we're going to give them to them when they get there. But what they really want is, can you help me do what you do? Can you help me move toward the way you and your family live? Can you help me get away from this soul-sucking job? Can you help me get me a little more margin in my budget so I'm not stressed out about my bills? They don't care that there is an email marketing autoresponder course with 7 templates. They need it.
They
I
think
know
they care
that.
about that
They
sometimes.
they need to care about it, and we're going to tell them, do this when you get into the community. But until we make them make that emotional decision, they're never going to join. So, don't focus on such
This is
specifics.
something we've really been working on lately, just reading books about, we've been studying, and it's
And
really, really important.
And that was a really good discussion about a sales page too. For everybody's making sales pages, you need to go look at your sales page. And if your sales page is ego driven or you driven,
Not saying
not saying it's bad, but like
that
seriously,
Jen's was.
yeah, but but just saying, if it's look at all the things I know, look at all the things I offer, look at all the cool things I've created.
A lot of people call that technobabble. People don't care.
Join now. Nobody cares. If it's look what I can do for you in your life, you'll win. You'll win every time. Okay. All right. Next question.
All right. This is actually the last question I have. So if anyone else has anything, it looks like we're going to have some more time. So go ahead and type one.
Were there any questions that we missed over in the chat?
I think I got them all.
Well, there's some down below too, the replies that people posted.
Yeah, and then we can go through those if nobody else has anything live.
Dan Decker just installed the Facebook Pixel. That's taking action on the call right there.
Yep,
That's what I love about you guys.
It is. I'm going to do the same as soon as we get off of here. Okay. Actually, I'm not, because we have something else on the calendar, but I'll do it later. All right. Chris and Kathleen says we pre-launched our Life with Multiples community last week to have a dozen people for free so we could test things out. People are being active in the community, which is very exciting.
That's awesome.
We want to keep the momentum, so we sent an email out yesterday to our beta waiting list of 22 people. The email had 7 opens and 1 click through to our sales page. So far, no sales. We're going to resend that email to the waiting list and then send the sales email to our wider list today or tomorrow. Any other advice?
Yes, a beta launch must be done live. For everybody listening, if you want to do it right, a beta launch must be done live. You need to create an event that has a hook. Like, what does your person want? Right? What do they want to learn about? For example, the first time we ever launched the Flip Your Life community as a membership, Jocelyn and I did a webinar about why we felt memberships were the future of our business. And we launched the community and we had a big event around it. We said, we're going to teach you all about what we've learned about memberships. And if you want to learn how to create recurring revenue, if you want to learn how to do membership websites, you need to do this. The first time we ever launched the Flip Your Life course that we sold, we did an email marketing webinar and then launched the course at the end of it and said, if you want to learn more about all the things about online business, do this. And we made a big deal about that. Free content, big event. Here we go. Bam, launch the next step. And you can't just send out an email and hope people join. It's not going to work. So do that. You've already done it. They know it's happening. They know this is on their radar now. You need to schedule a webinar. You need to schedule a live event. You need to teach them something for about 15, 20 minutes. That leads to them joining. So what's the step before joining your community? Whatever that is, or whatever the first step in your product is, you need to teach them that and do it live.
With those kind of numbers, with only 22 people, 7 people opened it, which is not a terrible open rate.
One
considering
person clicked,
the small
which
numbers.
is good.
But since you have such small numbers, let's reach out to those people personally.
Yeah.
Maybe you send them a video. There's all kinds of video services right now that you can use. You can even use, what's the one called Use Loom? I think that one's free, isn't it?
Use Loom is free. Useloom.com. You can send them videos.
For right now, you could just use that. Just get on there and say, hey, we noticed you were interested in our community. We want to personally invite you to join. And, if you have any questions,
that's like a live thing. That's totally what you're saying. There's got to be personal contact where they see you and you're real, and you have to get in there and you have to emotionally tug them in. It just has to happen. So.
And we've started doing this more actually. We've started doing more like videos, like personalized stuff, because we just think it's important for our community. We think that they need to see us and we need to talk to them. And if you haven't gotten a video from us yet, you may be getting one soon. You never can tell.
That's right. So do something, make it more of an event. And also remember that I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. The first 100 sales happen not because of you or your product or anything else. It becomes because of relentless marketing. You've got to be like a dog on a bone. You know what I'm saying? You got to go. You've got to constantly send them. You got to keep swinging. It might take 50 times before the first person joins and 100 times before the next 10 people join, but you've got to be relentless. Like this is the moment where you commit to consistency and you commit to, I'm going to do a webinar a week. I'm going to do 2 Facebook Lives a week. I'm going to email every person that joins my list personally for the next 6 months. This is where me and Jocelyn were staying up all night and I was scrolling through Twitter and I literally added 4,000 football coaches one at a time and reached out to every one of them to get every follower that I had. Like this is where, like in the Flip Your Life community, when we first launched the course, we had 20 people and we literally talked to every single one of them. You know?
And just remember that all of this is a numbers game. And we talk about this a lot. So that means that for every 100 people that you send an email to, approximately 3 to 5 people will take the action that you want. So with only 22 people, that's good that you have those people on the list, but don't get discouraged if you don't have, 6 or 7, 8 people jump on board, because that's just not what the numbers typically say for things like this. So, and to everyone else out there, like if you just have a few people on your list and you're trying to sell them something and they're not buying, don't say, well, this is not worthwhile and no one wants it. No, what you have to say is you have to get more people through, get more numbers, and see if people want it or if they don't.
And I'll give you a great example of this, guys. Like that mentality never changes. Jocelyn and I did a public thing the other day to try to sell memberships. We sold 3. That was the worst. That was the worst probably thing we've done in months.
Like in all honesty, for the amount of people who were on there,
it was not
the
bad.
Numbers probably held true.
Yeah, it was not bad. I mean, we had a little thing. We were trying.
We had
something
over
new.
100, I think.
And
right?
most people be like, "Well, that didn't work." No, we are scheduling another one probably for like when Jocelyn gets back from a trip here in a couple weeks. Like we're just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it because if you zoom in and you look at today, well, anything can suck today. Like anything could be great. Today it might be the best thing ever today. It might be the worst thing ever today. But if you zoom back over 3 months and you say, well, I did that for 12 straight weeks. Now I know for sure if it works. So get relentless. This is where it is. You've done so much good stuff to this
And
point.
while
Get
you're
relentless.
small, take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Reach out to those people personally.
It's easier when you're small.
Right.
I long for the small days sometimes.
I know. We're thinking about
backing up and going smaller
stuff
than we were. So
all right. But we'll talk about that later. All right. Laura says, for my education teacher membership site, what would be a good way to go about transitioning monthly members to annual members? I'm thinking this would help me bring in more revenue rather than having monthly members quit because of the time of year.
Know your LTV. So let's say that your LTV is
that's lifetime value of your customer.
So like let's say that the average person, let's say it's $50 a month, the average person stays 5 months, so that's $250. So let's say on the 4th month, go ahead and ask them to join annual before they quit. So it gives you a good ballpark where you can try to get anyone to join an annual. And also do a monthly event, do a monthly webinar for your members.
Or just, like a Q&A like we do.
Like a Q&A. You could do something like this and then just offer it to them. Like say, hey guys, you can save 20% tonight only if you get the annual plan. This is the only place it's offered except for our email list. And then say, just be honest with them and say, hey, commit, get free or save, save money. That's what we do. I mean, and it works really good. We're starting to get probably, a lot of our monthly members, we move them, to annual members at some point. So you can also do different kinds of deals. Like you can offer quarterly, like if you're trying to just extend lifetime value. The goal is not, I want to prevent people from quitting. The goal is to extend lifetime value. That's right. Like, so even if someone quits, what if they come back 6 months later? Like,
and we have that happen a lot.
Yeah. Think of that plan. Like, don't say, oh, they quit because it's that time of year. Well, maybe they did quit because it's that time of year. Be ready to remarket them in August because they'll probably come back.
And also you should have you should have a sequence for people who do leave. I got a really good email yesterday from a membership that I had been a part of. And they were like, hey, we're getting ready to kick you out of our Facebook group, basically, is what the gist of the email was. And they're like, we just wanted to make sure that you really wanted to do this and, that maybe you missed your payment. We want to give you an opportunity to rejoin at the founder's rate, So make sure that you're also trying to get people back engaged even after they leave your membership. All right. Sandra says, I can't attend because it'll be 2 a.m. in Melbourne, Australia.
Yep. It's very late there.
It says, the customer who recently bought your annual membership and you guys found out that he started following you guys in 2014. how did you get to track so in depth about that customer? What tools did you use to trace his fingerprints? I'm wondering how many of my customers are like that customer who might have followed me a long time, but I'm not sure where to begin tracing their digital footsteps.
We just looked at his emails he had opened. That was it.
And yes, we do stalk you guys.
And we stalk
No,
everyone.
so what you do, Sandra, is basically you have to kind of dig deep on that one particular person. We have a CRM system, which is a customer relationship management system. It's called Infusionsoft. And using Infusionsoft, what you're able to do is dig down into that person's individual contact record, which you can probably do with most
you can do that.
any
Aweber
email.
keeps it. Yeah, you can click on any contact you got in Aweber or MailChimp,
and it will tell you how long they've been there, most likely.
Yep. It'll have the date they joined, basically.
We have a lot of information because we set up our system that way. So, like, we set it up to tell us who opened the email, who clicked the email, what did they click. We have these little, like, flames. So, for every action that you take that we deem to be flame worthy, which basically means how hot a lead is, Infusionsoft will show on your contact record, okay, this person has 1 flame, this person has 4 flames. It shows us how hot a lead is. So if you're sorry, I keep mixing up my words today. I don't know what's wrong with me. If you consistently are taking actions on our emails, like doing things that we feel get you closer to becoming a customer, then we get that information and say, okay, we need to contact this person and try to get them to join our membership.
So like you might get right? You might get 1 point for opening an email. You might get 2 points in our system for clicking on a link, because you're engaging with the email, right? And then this specific instance, really, it's just a matter of saying all I did was I pulled up that guy's emails and I looked back and I was like, man, this guy's opened a lot of emails, and I kept scrolling back, and the first email he ever opened was in 2014. So I knew that person has been following us for that long, and we could see all the emails they'd opened. So, it's just a matter of looking at it. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You just need to open up that contact record, and if your CRM keeps it, see what emails they've opened. And you're good.
All right, I'm going to jump into Rebecca's question, which is a live question. She says, I set a goal to get 30 new members each month, and so far we've been meeting that goal for January, February, and March.
Good job.
We're roughly getting 1 new member per day, but our attrition rate has been about 7%. Given the size of our membership, that means we've been losing roughly 1 member per day, so we're staying equal and not growing. We need to, A, increase members above 30 a month, or B, decrease attrition, or C, Rebecca, do both.
That's right.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's what we're trying to do too. Yep.
Okay. So she says, do you have ideas for either? We're looking into intercom to get people more engaged in the membership.
Yep.
I'm also going to do weekly Facebook Lives with my members.
This is a constant, like, tug of war in a membership business. Is, do I focus on sales or retention? And what we have really learned lately is this is 50-50, because the easiest customer to keep is the one you already have. But if you don't go get new customers, then that's just a slow death, because everyone eventually quits at some point. So it's all sales. You have to sell new members, and you have to sell current members to pay you again next month. So basically doing more to serve both customers is what's going to give you what you need. I also think you guys need bigger goals. Like, we kind of have a mentality of 3 to 5 a day, because if we can get 3 to 5 a day, let's say you get 3 a day instead of 1 a day. Okay. Set a goal for 90 instead of 30. One, just reaching harder is going to make you work harder. Okay. Reaching farther. But if you get 3 a day, let's say you get 1 and 1 quits, and then the other person's 50-50. Well, it's going to be more likely or not you're going to grow at that point. So your real goal is 3 a day, especially where you are in your business, because you're at a point where you can totally do that. So stretch more, and you're going to have to come up. We what was that? You remember that paper I drew the other day? We drew a paper at lunch yesterday. That was yesterday. And we drew a line. We said, retention, new members. And we said, what do we got to do to get new members? What do we got to do to retain the ones we got longer? And then we had some ideas there, like maybe adding more member calls, right? We talked about that. Like, maybe we do a member call every week because people love them. That keep people that come to member calls generally pay next month. So what if we did it all the time? All sorts of other ideas, but you got to do both at the same time.
I think, for people who are just getting started, especially like in your membership for retention, there are some very like low hanging fruit type things that you can do. So the first thing you can do is you can give them a good indoctrination sequence. So that means making sure they understand where to find emails, making sure they know where to find training materials, making sure they know how to get help, things like that. So that's something that we're going to be working on improving. We do have the system in place, but we are going to try to improve it some over the next little bit. So those things are really important, because if people start out, they don't know how to log in, they don't know how to find the training materials, they don't know how to contact support, those types of things, they're not going to be satisfied members, and they are not going to stay around.
We've actually thought about adding and that this actually is happening, but very soon is we're going to add a new member orientation. So we might have 2 Q&As a month, but then we might do 2 new member orientations, where anyone who's joined in the last 2 weeks, we get them on a personal call, not one-on-one, but in a group setting, to say, here's how you use the membership.
Here's how you get help.
And it's not just a random video. Like, we're talking about doing this live. Okay. So like that way people get to talk to you, people get to touch you, people get to, go in, and like they get to say, hey, they're really here for me immediately out of the gate. That alone will get them to pay their second month.
We are also testing sending videos to people. So if you guys are kind of new, you probably did get a video from our community manager, Kat. But as we started thinking about it, Shane and I were like, okay, we really need to do this ourselves.
People want to talk to us.
We are still at the point, size-wise, where we can still handle this, okay? So what we have done is we bought a video system. What is it called?
Bomb.
Well, no, we're not using Bomb. We're using Bonjoro.
That's
so
right.
There's 2 different ones.
The team is using Bomb.
There are probably several, but there's Bomb and there's Bonjoro. So we have downloaded Bonjoro, and what we are doing is we are actually recording videos, and we are sending them to people. So they're going to be personalized. So when you join, it's going to say, hey, Shane, we just wanted to welcome you. We're so glad you joined, that type thing. So that way people know that we know that they joined.
And this is something like, this goes back to consistency. Like Rebecca said, I tried doing videos, I couldn't keep up. Well, it's like some people say I can't afford that, and some people say I'm going to figure out how I can afford it. And that's kind of what we did with the videos, because at one time we tried to do this too, and we didn't like the system we had set up didn't work.
Yeah, the system was a mess. You have to have a good system. So the system now is, we open Bonjoro, there's a list of videos, we hit record on our phone, we record it, we hit in recording, and it automatically sends it.
And
we don't do anything else.
We've got it connected to Infusionsoft now. And then and the reason we're doing, and also it's a consistency thing. Like, you don't get to skip that. Like, if we got 5 members yesterday, we wake up and we do 5 videos. We're doing them in the car. We're doing them on the way to school. We're doing them on the way to the gym. We're doing them at the gym, wherever we do them on the phone.
We will probably batch, because we have to. Like, I can't just stop what I'm doing and make videos every 5 seconds. But we will probably do it a few days a week, where we just take an hour and we get them all done.
But we're going to do them from everywhere, right? That's why we got Bonjoro instead of Bomb.
She said she had low open rates, which is kind of surprising, because our Bonjoros are getting really
high
good open rates. Yep. So I would look into it. Also look into Bomb.
I'll try the orientation idea too. Like, instead of you getting them a video, try to get them a link in their, where their password is, and have a big giant thing with it looks like a GIF of you. And they click it and they're like, hey, sign up for an orientation. I do it once a month.
Or maybe you don't do that. Maybe you send people cards. So I've tried that before too. That's a test that I've been doing. So some of you might have gotten cards. We test different things. So sometimes I send people cards. Sometimes I do a video. Sometimes we do birthday cards. Like, we've been trying different things. The most important thing is, though, make sure that you tag those people, like that you identify them, and you see, okay, do these people stay longer or do they not? Because if they don't, it's not worth spending time and money on.
But I will say this, and this is, again, here's why this is kind of like our domains. Like, my job is to get new people. That's why I'm always doing the Facebook Lives. Jocelyn's job is to retain people. So she's always working on our back-end systems and coming up with ideas to help people stay. You do have to do both, but you better go get new people. You got to get 90 people a month.
And something that I would say too is, make sure that you know why people are leaving. Do you do an exit interview? That's one thing that we do. And we do look at that data and say, okay, this person left because they didn't understand where to find the training. So we need to make it more obvious where to find the training. Or this person left because they said they didn't have an accountability partner. Oh, well, maybe we need to facilitate people being able to find an accountability partner.
Which is something we're working on in the future, for sure. Automated rejoins. That's good. She's doing that. Stuff.
And that's good.
I think you're doing a lot of the retention stuff, right? And your LTV is a pretty solid rate. You and Dan probably need to focus on, you need to just say, how are we going to get 3 members a day? Whatever it takes. How can we afford that? You know what I mean? How can we do that? And you need to say, okay, what are we doing now? Is that working? If it is working, it may just be do 2 times more of
I
it,
mean, you're
and
going
you'll
to have
double your
attrition.
membership.
There's no way to
Yeah.
have zero attrition.
If
I
you
mean, it's just
never
not going to
sold
happen.
another membership today, everyone here would eventually run out of members. Now, it might be 8 months from now, it might be 2 years from now, but if you never added another member, your business will eventually go away. So focus on adding more members. Get to a point where you're adding 40 members instead of 30, losing 30.
And if
right?
you're new here and you're thinking, oh my gosh, they just threw out like 15 ideas, like I have to do all those things. No, just start with one thing. Try that.
Yeah,
See
and
if it
remember,
works. See if it helps.
Rebecca and Dan have hundreds of members, so they're at a different level. But that everyone's goal should be like your goal should be to get a member a day to where Dan and Rebecca are, and then we can double it, then we can triple it. But that's where you guys are at. You've got to figure out ways to double down on what you're doing that's working and get more members. Okay.
All right. Sandra says, how many ads do you run at a time? I'm guessing you run several concurrently. Where do you run them? I'm asking because I want to know how many ads I should be running concurrently in order to maximize sales. Also, what are your ad objectives? What content should I lead people to, basically?
Okay. One, make sure you watch Jocelyn's videos about this because she goes over cold, warm, and hot ads. She even goes over how much money percentage-wise you should be spending on each in the Flip Your Life Blueprint area. So go click on Flip Your Life Blueprint and watch that course. In general, though, you want 3 different kinds of ads. You want awareness ads that are, driving people to content that you're giving away for free. It's usually not even an opt-in. It's just, here's a cool thing I wrote. It's targeted at certain people and they click it, they read your blog posts, and then you try to get their email. So that's like a cold ad, and you're looking for awareness of your brand in your space. The second one, you're looking for engagement. So you want awareness first and then engagement. That's when you're really like, sign up for my webinar, opt in for this cool thing I'm giving away for free. You're trying to get an exchange of value. You're trying to get them to engage with you in the second ads. Those are usually warmer ads. And then the third ad is your hot people. These are people that are like, they should be buying.
Maybe they've been to your sales page.
They've been to your sales page, didn't check out. So you're looking for that. So usually you're going to have in any campaign, that's what a campaign is. It's all your little battles that you're fighting. A campaign is going to have stuff going for awareness. It's going to have stuff going for engagement, and it's going to have stuff going for sales. And those audiences get smaller as you go. Like Flip Your Life Nashville, we talked about it in a post and in a Facebook Live I did. And I just kind of blasted that out at one point to people who followed our Facebook page, people who had been to our website, and our email list. I just wanted a big awareness that we're doing this live event, right? And it was coming. Then we announced it on our podcast that it was for sale, right? So then we targeted people who had signed up on our waiting list. We had a waiting list opt-in, and we had like, 200 or 300 people. So I sent an email just to them. I showed an ad just to them. And then we started showing, again, ads to everybody, to get people going. So we made everybody aware that something was coming. We made them aware that there was an event. And then we tried to get people to engage with the email list. And then we tried to market them with our email list and ads. So, and we got an ad going right now of people that have landed on the sales page or done something else to do something for Nashville. So those are the 3 categories. And Jocelyn goes deep into cold, warm, and hot ads and how much money you should be spending in her course.
All right. And the final question of the day is from Treasure. She says, what are some must-dos to publicize my subscription community for busy parents of college-bound teens pre-launch? The launch is April 1st. And she says, I took a client call last night and I sold her on the community rather than my high ticket one-on-one. Good job.
Awesome.
All right. So she wants to know how can she publicize the community pre-launch?
So this is happening. She wrote in all caps too. All right. So I love the live components of YouTube and Facebook, and you have an audience and you have one-on-one clients. So we really want to publicize it to them first, right? I mean, she's doing these one-on-ones already. And then it's just a matter of figuring out, you need to do some research on what these parents are searching for, which you're an expert in this field. So you should know some of those things. And maybe you do some YouTube videos on this.
Make sure that you have good content on those keywords on your website.
Or on YouTube too, so people can find her.
On YouTube is fine. I would transcribe those videos. I would have them transcribed so that Google can find you more easily. But I think what you're doing is just fine. Just keep mentioning it. Make sure that you're letting people know about it, that it's opening soon. Give them a date. We talked about this earlier. It's really important for people to know exactly when to expect things. And yeah, just talk about it. Talk it up.
Treasure, reach back out to the person who did the client call and you sold into your community that found you on YouTube. And I want you to ask her or him specifically, what did you type in to find me? What was it you found? Which video? How did you find me? I want to know what that video is. Go look at that video, make sure it's optimized, and maybe do some YouTube lives on that topic where you're actually bringing in new people searching for that, so that you can draw in more people that you really want to draw in and get on YouTube Live. YouTube Live's been pretty good for us lately. Like, we're really trying to learn it because being live and being in a place where people are searching for things, we're finding is actually better for getting discovered than Facebook. Facebook is more people already know about us. Like, that's where we engage with people. That's where we sell to people. But we're trying to get discovered more in YouTube. We've got a video right now with like 50,000 views because we just updated the SEO on it. So, do some stuff like that to get discovered more, and then focus on the people who already know about you, so that you can sell to them. Okay.
All right. We are about out of time, but before we go, we want to remind everybody about Flip Your Life Nashville in September. If you are not coming, we are very sad about that, and we want you to come. So please, please, please come to our live event. Not for us, but for you. We are actually not making money on this event.
It's a break-even event.
Break even. There's really no benefit to us for,
financially for doing it.
There's,
we just want to
no
help
financial
you guys.
gain for us. We are doing this for you.
And we only have 15 tickets left. There's only 15 tickets left now. I sold one last night.
190 days.
Yeah, we sold like 2 last week or something. So there's somewhere around 15 tickets left. So make sure that if you're going to go, drop the link in. If you're not going to Nashville, you need to come before it sells out. We are not adding tickets. We are not going to add any tickets. We can't. The room won't hold any more people. So we're almost sold out. It's almost completely full, and we're good to go. There was a follow-up to this YouTube question that says, Sarah asked, so it doesn't matter that you don't have many subscribers in order to be discovered on YouTube? No, that's the huge difference and why YouTube is better than Facebook at getting found. Okay, remember, the first layer of your sales funnel is awareness. The second level is engagement. Okay, awareness means people find you in search results. Okay, they search in iTunes for your podcast. They search on Google for your blog. They search on YouTube for your videos. I did a video for example, I did a video the other day live, and I didn't announce it. I didn't send it out. Didn't do anything else. And it got like 400 views just out of nowhere because people were just watching it live because I was doing something live and they happened to type that stuff in at that moment. Okay. So no, that's how you get discovered. And it's like Hansel and Gretel. You're leaving breadcrumbs for people to find you. So you go to YouTube, you do a video, right? And maybe it's called, I don't know, it's called how to change a tire, whatever. Well, anybody that types that in the future forever will have a chance to type that in and find your video about how to change a tire. So you get discovered, and then you become the expert mechanic, and everybody follows you, and blah, 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 right? That's how people get found, is they create consistent content. They leave that out there forever. You do work once to be found forever. So yes, YouTube is powerful. But I don't want to say this is not our world is very polarized where this is the tool and that's the bad tool. Like, they work all together. YouTube is a search engine. If people have a problem, they go search for their solution. Facebook is where we hang out as friends. So when people get to know you, they will follow you on Facebook, or you will show ads to them. All right. We're almost to the point now where we're not showing cold ads on Facebook anymore. Those are only warm ads to the Pixel. The only thing I've ran lately are Pixel, our Pixeled audience, our email list, and our actual Facebook followers. On YouTube is where we're going to focus on, let's pay to get these in front of more search results. When people type in work from home, I want there to be an ad that says how to work from home, and it's me and Jocelyn on Flip Lifestyle. So we're getting found over here, building awareness, and then we're getting follow-ups over on Facebook and our email list. So,
all right. So one more question about the event. Mike would like to know, are there guest speakers, or is all of it just the S&J show?
It's the S&J show, baby. Here's why. Let me tell you, that's a good question though. Like, we've been to a lot of events and we love a lot of events. We've gotten value from other people, but the best events we've ever been to are the ones that helped us take action, not some guru on stage
Trying to
selling the
sell a
book
book
or sell,
or
like not some upsell at the end where there's like magic coaching program and this was just the beginning.
And the thing I hate about those two is like they scratch the surface of their best content. Like they give you so little, and then you're just sitting there going, okay, well, I kind of already knew that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But instead, what we're going to do at this event is really important for us to help you guys actually take action. So you're going to get things done before you even leave.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be there. We're going to be there to answer questions live. Other people in our community who have been super successful, they're going to be there to help you answer your questions live.
We're going to work together. This is a giant mastermind is what this is. And what Jocelyn and I are going to do is guide you through an audit, A to Z of what you're doing right now. Figure out your next steps. Figure out what you should take action on in those 48 hours to make sure when you go home, you have momentum to take, action on the next 48, months or whatever. Like that's the purpose of this event is to Jocelyn and I get up there and say, this is the best practice. This is what we've seen work. Now, do this to evaluate. Work together. We're going to come around. We're going to help you personally. Then, bam, let's take action and get it done. So, like the first session may be like, okay, we're working on some sales funnel stuff, and you analyze your sales funnel and you look at it and you say, okay, well, I'm at this part of my sales funnel. My lead magnet's not really working. So we need to fix this. We need to look at these percentages. We need to say why it's not working, and we may need to change it. Well, guess what? We're going to change it right there. But another person at your same table may look at their sales funnel and realize, oh, this email is not converting. I'm getting a 60% open rate on my first email and a 10 on the second one. Well, guess what? We're going to brainstorm. We're going to change that subject line and we're going to split test it. Let's go. The other person might say, hey, this stuff is working. I just need more traffic into it. They're going to work on the ad, right? So each component is going to break it down on what we should be doing. We're going to give you the best possible scenario. We're going to show you some case studies of us, what we've done, what we're doing now, what other people are doing. Then we're going to work together and we're going to get it done. So you're going to leave this place. We got this big notebook thing that you're going to get when you get there, and we're going to fill it out top to bottom, and you are going to have clarity when you leave this place. You're going to understand your business. You're going to understand where you're going and what you should do next, not what the guru says. The next step at this event is not going to be buy our coaching program. Promise you. It's not going to be buy our book. I promise you. The next step is going to be what you personally do in your online business next. You're going to go take action on it, and you're going to be successful because of this event. So that's why there's nobody else speaking but us. Basically.
All right. Maribel wants to know, are there rooms available? And I typed this in the chat. There are rooms available. We have sold out of the third night in our block. I didn't get a whole lot of third night rooms because I didn't know how many people would want to stay. And turns out a lot of people wanted to stay. So we've sold out of the third night. But what you can do is you can book the first 2 nights through our discount rate. And then you can book the third night if you want to stay through the hotel.
So we've sold the block out like 3 times. The hotel.
Yeah, we had to
crazy.
keep like adding rooms. So we've reached the end of the rooms that I feel comfortable adding, but we do still have the first 2 nights available. And as far as I know, they have availability on the third night, just not through our block.
Yeah. So it's basically that third night will just be a little bit more, but it'll be the first 2 nights will be at the discount.
I promise it'll be worth it.
Does anybody else have any questions about Nashville while we're here?
This event will change your life. It really will. And I'm not just saying that because it's our event. Like live events have changed our business so many times, and I don't even know where we would be if we didn't do live events. So Jeff says, I have a third night I can't use. If I cancel it, will it go back to your block?
I don't know.
I think probably yes.
If you call them and told them, Jeff, it probably would.
I think probably yes.
Yeah. So that'll work. And then people should go because it's here. It has been a long time.
It's been a long time.
We skipped last year.
We took a little hiatus from live events, just trying to figure out exactly what we wanted. And what we decided was that we didn't want to do it the way that everyone else did it.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make it about our community and not about us.
I've actually had people comment to me that they would ask us to like come speak. I have a lot of really good friends in Nashville that are very high level entrepreneurs, and it's not that we don't think that they can add value. It's just Jocelyn and I are always very careful about how we open up our brand to other people, advertising and stuff like that, because one, we don't want to just become a pitch fest. Number two, we want to make sure we're trying to filter everything that goes in, and we don't want to be influenced by that. We don't want we want to stay focused. We want to stay on track. We want to help you guys, get on your railroad track. It's not our railroad track. You don't got to do anything the same way we do it. In fact, we tell a lot of people don't do that.
Is burgoo on the menu? Well, I will tell you that we are choosing the menus in just a few days. We're choosing them on March 30th. So I'm looking forward to that. There will be some good Southern food on
There will
there,
be
I
some
can assure
Southern
you.
cuisine, you know.
Yep. Sarah says, I love how you protect it and keep us focused so we can continue putting our family first. That's what
right.
we're all about. I mean, we want to sell things because that's how we provide for our family.
And it's not that we don't believe other people have value. Like Jocelyn and I will be the first to admit we don't have all the answers. Like sometimes
nope.
we don't know what to do. But
and there are people out there who are amazing and
yes,
that we can learn
could,
from, and
exactly.
everyone here can learn from.
We've had people that come to events before to hang out. Like we had Kate Erickson came to one of our events. Pat Flynn came to one of our events. And those are all cool moments.
But they weren't presenting.
They weren't
just
presenting.
There.
They were just hanging out, you know? And like, what we know is this is the truth. And I can confidently say this 100%. If you do something, something will happen. And the more voices that get in and the more advice and things and blogs and directions and distractions you get, the harder it becomes to take action. We've seen more people become paralyzed by information than by decisions on what they should do next in their online business. It's like a domain name. Just pick one. Should I cover this topic on my webinar or this topic? Just pick one. Our goal is to make you take action. Our goal is to inspire you to take action.
And so
that's what we're doing.
Because of that, we want to minimize the noise and distractions as much as possible.
Yep.
We want to focus on what everyone is there for, which is to grow their online business. And we want to go out of there with a plan for you to take it to the next level. Like, it's really important to us that you guys get things done, and not just that people are making money or that they're selling things, or like outside people.
And we want to cement deep relationships in our community, because one of the reasons that we're doing Flip Your Life Live Nashville, honestly, is because we want to go connect with you guys, and we want you to connect with each other, because there is not another community out there that we know of like Flip Your Life, where you have such a deep family focused group of people. Like, we are all like, you can go to a lot of groups and you'll have, people jumping up and screaming F-bombs and how cool they are, and they just got back from Thailand and Bali and all these things. And that's cool, man. Go do your thing. But like, we are basically here so we can pick up our kids from the school every day. We're basically here so we can afford to give our kids great experiences, like going to Disneyland or taking them to Mexico or whatever we do, right? We're here for our families so that we can actually have enough margin in our life to eat dinner together, and that's really what we want. And it's a hard goal. Everything in the world rips us apart. Jocelyn and I were just talking about this morning. Like, everything in the world tries to like break apart the family and break apart and focus on work and success more than other stuff. And we don't think that you should have to do that. So we want to connect a group of people who have the right priorities and want more time with their spouse, want more time with their significant other, want more time with their kids, want more time for themselves, and are not focused on, I've got to be a billionaire. No, let's go make a great living that gives us freedom, and we can focus on what matters. That's what we want to do. So that's what this event's for. We want
you to come to Nashville, and really and truly, we added up every cost. We divided it by the number of people who are coming, and that's what we charged you guys. Like, we are not trying to gouge it in any way. Like, it is, you pay the cost of what it is to put it on. Yeah, so we want you to come. It's for you. We're doing this for you. It's a lot of work, and we're looking forward to it. We want you to come.
A lot of meetings, a lot of planning. We're still getting feedback in the Facebook group over there. I'm probably gonna do a Facebook Live actually later today in that group about some stuff. And when Jocelyn has her meeting, is that the meeting with Amber? Is that the meeting?
Yeah, it's on March 30th. So we're going to have a meeting basically to talk about the logistics of the event and the menus of the event and all that kind of thing. So if you're not coming, think about it. I know that's a lot of money. It does cost a lot to travel. But when Shane and I were first starting out, we took a huge risk. Like, we really did not have the money to go to the first live event that we went to. We sold stuff. We sold our house. Like, we made some huge sacrifices in our life,
and we still do,
to be able to do it.
Yeah, we still do. Like, when I see an event that I'm usually the one that, for us, I'm scouting events. I'm trying to find that, relationship for us, or that, thing that we can do. And we went to an event in November that cost $25,000.
And that's not even including the travel.
That wasn't even including the airline. That wasn't including the hotel. And hey, that's a lot of money. don't matter how much money you're making. That's a lot of money. And we invested in ourselves to do that because we thought that event would give us focus and get us some connections and do some things that we had to do. So, we're trying to keep this event as cost effective as possible and at cost as possible so that everybody can have that experience. So it's going to be good stuff. Will your book be available by Nashville? Don't know.
I don't know.
That the author has another project that she's working on too, so we've kind of paused our version. Jocelyn and I have not read the first draft through. We've got the first draft, but the book process is way longer than we thought. So we've got 2 more drafts plus editing.
So likely no.
Not likely. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for being here today. We have got to go. I got to crack the whip on this project that we have to finish.
I like how you pause there instead of saying Shane. I got to crack the whip on Shane to get this project done that we're getting ready to work on. So
no, it involves both of us. So we got to get going. So, all right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you for being here. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning.
All right. See y'all.